Back, welcome back. Here we go. Here we go. This is the last day of July, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Holy shit. So it was Halloween just a couple weeks ago, and it'll be Christmas the day after tomorrow. So we're rocking through the year. Um, welcome back. We got a full house today. A bunch of Kevins, an Art, a Greg, a John, and Kevins.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm looking at it's like a full house so far. Funny.
Aces and kings.
Aces and Kings, you got it. Love it. Wow, Art, what's going on in the world other
Did you
than this
know,
end of the summer?
since it's the end of the month, I was looking at August. Did you know August has 5 Mondays?
All right, well,
Well,
so
when
there's
you
five.
count,
Talk about something positive, Art. Come on.
well, when
I
you
know.
when
What
you
are you
count
doing?
every business day, you kind of look at those things.
I can hear that. Yeah, but your month is going to end early, right? It's only going to be 4 weeks, not
Ends on
five.
the 23rd, and I've
Uh-huh.
already got half my quota in for the month and verbals for another 40 grand, 50 grand that could hit by Tuesday, Wednesday next week.
Cool. That's very cool.
So yeah, August I thought would be extremely light. Um, that's not going to be the case. So now I'm going to have to put the really light month to September.
Oh
I
no.
heard somebody else tell me that July was a good month for them too, and they was shocked them. So that's good.
Yeah, July was good.
It,
Yeah,
it,
now
it
August is going to be good.
Microsoft and AWS blew away their numbers too, on a different scale.
Well, still that's good because it was Microsoft dropped 60 points one day this week, I think, but got them back.
It went right back up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way it works.
Let's see. You
Well, that's
want the
cool.
news?
Yes, let's roll into the news.
So we're going to go over this quickly. A lot of quarterly profit reports are coming out. And this one seems quarter one. Oh yeah, it's a Japanese quarter. I guess. Well, kind of crazy. Konica Minolta posts higher Q1 profit on tariff refunds, and that's interesting. Right. I mean,
Yeah.
are the manufacturers now getting the refunds? And if they're getting the refunds, are they going to give it back to the dealers?
No, you're funny. You're
Yeah, funny.
cracking me up.
Well, I mean, what's right is right. I mean, then do the dealers have to give it back to the end users?
Well, it's just as likely that the dealers would give it back to the end users that Caton, that Konica Minolta is going to give it back to their dealers. There's no way.
Well, maybe that's why their profit was so high. They got all that
That's
tariff money
exactly it.
back.
It came in and it didn't go out. So, I mean that's the way of the world. You know.
So Kyocera was up, and Xerox tops estimates despite earnings miss. And I'd like to
Yeah. What does that mean?
talk a little bit more about that. Quarterly revenues reached 1.58 billion, exceeding the consensus estimate of 1.53 billion.
Hmm.
Gross margin declined as Xerox absorbed restructuring costs and continued investment in reinvention strategy. Um,
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
I thought that was interesting, and
Yeah. What was the stock?
it had an adjusted EPS of 8 cents.
Stock was up to 337 yesterday. It settled, and then it
337.
went down pretty good today, back to about just under three.
Well, that's better. It's usually been around
Oh, yeah.
228
Yeah,
recently.
yeah. It's at a 52 week. Well, not after yesterday, but close to a high.
Any comments? Anybody from about Xerox?
Well, they just sold $100 and something million worth of money for 88 million to pay off debt.
What did they sell?
I'm looking it up right now.
I didn't think they had anything that left.
Well, they've only had Blue Sky for the last 5 years, and they've been selling that. So
Hmm.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
just
go ahead.
read it.
No, I didn't have anything on mind for what they sold.
I read it and then it wasn't a good sign. Why would you sell 108 million for 80 some million? That's called liquidating, isn't it?
Sure
Sounds like
seems
it.
like it. Of course, the major player in all of this is Canon again. Canon posts strong Q2 2026 results led by printing and diversification technology growth. Wait until you hear these. Where are the numbers on here? Numbers aren't on here. They had something like a 13 or 14% profit margin. It might be on another one of the updates that I had, but I thought that was uh, quite the quite the profit. When most copier companies are coming in at 3 to 5%.
They sold 105 million in tariff refunds for 80 million.
Well,
It's getting crazy
what?
now.
Yeah,
So they lost 20 million.
yeah, that's your money. I don't understand it.
How the hell do you do that?
To
I'm
get it
just,
in advance to pay down debt.
I'm just telling you what I'm reading. I don't know. I didn't write
Okay.
it. I just think it's kind of weird as well as you do. In fact, I had a kind of hard time keeping a straight face reading it. That doesn't even make any sense, does it?
So that's a 20% liquidation fee
For guaranteed money.
for guaranteed money.
Well, maybe they just sold the AP in advance
That's what they did. They
because they don't
contracted
have the
out the
money yet.
AP. Oh, means they couldn't have made, so they couldn't wait.
They're correct.
That's exactly
the-
what they said.
Correct.
They said they 105 million in tariff refund receivables and gross profit during the quarter and sold the receivable to a third party for $80 million.
So they got that right away. But so
Wow.
the indicator is how long would it have taken them to get that tariff refund? And you've got Konica Minolta has already claimed it, right? It came in to their financials, or did they count it as a?
Supposedly didn't go into much.
I forget. Can you count receivables in? You can't count that as a
Mm-mm.
right. Not receivables, accounting wise.
No,
It's
we
not an
can't.
asset.
No.
Not an asset.
Yeah, this says Konica Minolta reported higher physical Q1 profit aided by tariff refunds on ongoing cost control initiatives.
Well, with that phrase, they Konica Minolta could have done the same thing, right? Doesn't say that they actually took the money. They just said they used it or the expectation to, so they could have.
Well, don't if you report higher earnings, don't you have to receive that money in order to
Right. That's what
report
I'm
higher
saying.
earnings?
So maybe they did the same thing that Xerox did, cashed it out sooner than it actually came in.
So
without
this would have
paying
been for March, what? No, April, May, and June, Q1.
So it would have been outstanding. It wouldn't have been received.
Right. So that would not have impacted profit.
No, you couldn't report it.
So they must have, same thing. Wow. The skullduggery is excellent here. I like what you said, Kevin. It's our money.
It is. Yeah.
It's the shareholders'
It's
money,
our
right?
money. Well, the tariff refunds. Oh my God.
It depends how
So-
much they passed on to the customer. If they absorb some of it, then they keep that amount, but it should go back to the customer, but
I think since for all the people on this show right now, I think actually you just gave me all your money because I'm the only one to have stock. So you've all forfeited
Congratulations.
your money.
You did.
Yeah, it's all went over to me. I'm gonna get a dividend of like 8 cents.
Well, you can
they'll
split
spend it
that
all in one place.
8 ways.
Yeah, I'll. What was that? What was that movie where the Steve Martin had to write that check because his glasses was cross-eying everybody for like $1 or something or whatever?
Cat juggling.
Oh, yeah.
Cat juggling.
Is that what it was? I can't.
No. He
he,
said
yeah.
yeah. Well, no, the dollar bet was trading places. Remember,
Is that what it
Mordecai
was?
and
Yeah.
the yeah, $1 bill.
One crisp dollar bill.
It's sad that we know that.
All
Well,
right, let's see. There's not much news in here. Xerox re-entered the New Zealand production print market. Kyocera came out with something new called Print Guardian to address printer security blind spots. And right now they're only doing this in the UK. Epson launched some new, this is interesting, Kevin Neal, launches new A3 flatbed scanners.
oh.
So just when you thought A3 is dead,
What?
Epson comes across.
Wait a minute, back up. An A3 flatbed?
Yeah,
Flatbed.
A3.
yeah.
That is interesting because the document feeders are so good anymore that you can scan plastic cards and different size sheets and double-sided.
What is going on?
So that's kind of weird. But
Yeah.
I-
Go ahead.
I did have one customer, a government customer, that bought a flatbed for Section 508, you know. So and
Oh.
it wasn't that they used a flatbed often, but the point that they needed it occasionally was thousands of units. So there's probably a reason behind this that isn't completely logical to us, but
Consumers.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a government logic, right? There's something in there.
It said
Wow.
new scanners support a wide range of media, including books, passports, ID cards, photographs, legal documents, large format originals that can't be processed through traditional sheet feeders.
Yep.
Wow.
I have
Okay.
a question for you. So the one guy that's always on YouTube trying to talk about the sky's falling down in our industry.
Mildew mouth.
The
Mildew mouth.
So the question is, has anybody heard the rumors about Visual Edge and Konica that are actually the ones doing what was supposedly alleged that Marco and Konica were doing? I've been reading like all about that.
What, Visual Edge and Konica
It's
Minolta?
Yeah, are actually are going to be squeezing the dealers. Not Marco was not involved in any of that.
I
So-
don't know about that. It just came from Kentucky with a Konica Minolta dealer, and I heard nothing about that.
Well, I know a little bit about Visual Edge because of my buddy used to work there. So, but this is a while back when they were going through a bunch of, it was about a year ago. So they're what? They're taking over Konica Minolta independent dealers service umbrellas? Is that what they're doing?
Well, so I was reading a couple articles about it, and it was basically I'm going, isn't this what Marco was being accused of doing, but it's actually being done by Visual Edge and Konica?
I
Does
don't know, I
that-
thought Visual Edge was just on the edge of being gone.
Oh,
No.
so did I. I thought they've been circling for a while, but the only one that said that is someone on the radio, but I'm just been hearing that.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, July 6th, they announced something with the strategic partnership with Konica Minolta.
Yeah,
Europe.
they're squeeze. Yeah, this is even into Wall Street. I read it on a Wall Street article, and that this is going to be a squeeze. Yeah,
Wow, really? Okay.
yeah, I did.
Interesting.
I didn't read it from our industry. I read it. I literally read it from outside of our industry, and it was literally. It's like they've got this way that they think they're gonna. This is going to be like a great big market grab. It's kind of what I mean, reading it, and I'm like, okay, this is exactly what Marco was being accused of. That clearly had nothing to do with any of this.
Right.
But I think the other player wasn't Marco. I think the way it sounded, the actual player was Visual Edge. Do you see the article? Do you see what I'm talking about? Are you reading
I
anything?
see yeah, I'm reading all sorts of stuff now. I was not aware of this, but yeah, so say maybe someone made a mistake, heard this, and just assumed it was Marco.
Yeah, it's
Mark-
Visual Edge.
Yeah.
Okay, well, as long as I just didn't make it up, as long as you're reading it. I mean, I'm.
Mhm.
It's even the imaging channel picked it up.
Oh, they
So it's
did.
real. Yeah, it's somewhere in here. There we go. July 6th. Yeah, this is like relatively new.
Yeah, I heard it a couple weeks ago. So,
July 6th. Yeah.
and then I kind of sat on it because I was like, I don't know if that's legit or not.
Interesting. Now that one is interesting
Yeah,
because it clearly states that kind of KM is going to be working directly with them.
right. That's what I'm saying. This is the one that's not a rumor.
No, this is not a rumor. Wow.
Hey, Greg, can you post the link?
I could do that.
Yeah, I missed that.
Yeah, sorry.
Anyway, I didn't know anything else. I just thought I'd tell you that I did kind of glance across and saw that, but
I didn't think our industry was all that interesting.
I guess now it is.
Yeah,
oh
we
yeah, the
got-
imaging center does have it.
Yeah. So wow, didn't see that coming, did you? Xerox is selling off their receivables, which is never a good sign because they couldn't make probably payroll. I don't know that.
Well, I don't know about that. They had
I know.
1.58 billion in revenue in the last quarter.
Well, but what was the margin? 5%? Is that what you said?
Didn't say. I'm just saying that most manufacturers, the margins are very low, and Canon
Right.
came in with a very high profit margin compared to everybody else.
Well, and I don't know. I don't want to open up a can of worms. Does that Canon like include everything?
Canon includes everything. Yep.
Yeah. So, don't they make nuclear plants, or is that Toshiba?
Toshiba. Yeah, but Canon is well invested into that print for pay market. They're also heavily invested into medical.
That's right. Imaging, right? Some sort of
Yep.
resonance and MRIs.
Yep.
But so is Konica Minolta.
Boy,
They're in the imaging as well. So here's a piece of interesting news until we can learn more about what the heck is going on with Visual Edge and KM. Corsoca. Did I pronounce that right, Greg? Kyocera? Whatever.
Kyocera.
Cool.
You can pronounce it anyway. Our guy at Icon, when Kyocera just came out, called it Kikowaria or something. I mean, that was the VP was calling it that.
Quocirca.
Oh, those guys. Not Kyocera, Quocirca. Yeah, see? Why did they do that to us?
Because we insert our vowels into their language that doesn't have any. That's where the problem comes in.
Well, they need more vowels.
Yeah, just so we see an O, we think that we need to make that a strong and not a silent.
Well, it's a real
So-
way to do things.
So when you got a Y and an
circa.
O, you got a problem.
Yeah.
Sounds
What are they-
good.
what's-
Quocirca. Anyway,
20 years or something, right?
their news was interesting.
Oh.
Research found that 67% of organizations experienced at least one print-related data loss in the last year
That they know of.
that they know of, and that's an 11% increase over the previous year. They're stating the average cost of print-related security has risen to approximately 1 million pounds per incident. Up
So are they saying they got 11% smarter this year than they were last year because it was still going on last year and they didn't know it?
No, they got
That's right.
11% dumber.
Hmm.
No,
Organizations.
they're seeing 11% more that was still going on 2 years ago, but now they just see it.
They're 11% more educated towards what's going on, so therefore they
Right.
see it. I'll tell you who's been killing it on this topic is Kevin Neal. He's been killing it. I've just been
On
like
the,
I've been applauding him in the background. I haven't even I've had my hands up in the air clapping, golf clapping. I couldn't even type back.
Kev, I've just regurgitated. I'm not like good at making stuff up. I just regurgitate the news, and it's out there, right? Print nightmare was a real thing.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
affected a lot of people, and so
which print nightmare are you talking about? Which
go look at Wikipedia. Just go print nightmare, and there was
Just
statistics.
tell me.
Oh, it was the
Go on,
print
what-
driver. It was the print driver.
Oh,
And
yeah.
And the most vulnerable part of the operating system is the print driver. So that's why Microsoft is enforcing protected print, Windows
Right.
protected print, and all
Very
this driverless stuff. So the print spooler has been responsible for a lot of data breaches that Our
Mhm.
industry has tried to sweep right under the rug, but
Yep.
they're out there.
But the difference is, though, you're getting engagement, so your language is different. So this stuff isn't exciting to people, but you're getting some hitters that are actually putting some stuff out there.
Well, Kev, in a former life, I was a network administrator for a small company. It was only a couple hundred people, but I was responsible for the network, and that's the way I think all the time. I have to protect the network, so that's just my default kind of thing. So when I look at scanners and printers and devices and water things and anything that's connected to my network, I was always that person. Like, you're not putting nothing on my network unless I know what the hell is in there, and is there antivirus? Can I lock it down? Is there admin accounts on there, right? So going through all that stuff. So just it's just my default nature. So I want to share it for the benefit, not to scare people, but for the benefit of awareness, because there is real incidences of people coming in through scanners and printers,
Mhm.
then they tunnel in your network. And then they get to your Active Directory that has your usernames and passwords. And guess what? Your usernames and passwords are used for all your business applications and your databases, and your customer information is all there. So, and these devices, people, they're always maintaining the servers and the PCs, but that printer sitting over in the corner that's always on, like, it doesn't get updated, it doesn't get maintained, nobody cares about it, but it's just as important or more than vital infrastructure, you know? So, there's news about data breaches all the time. Kevin, you got me going now. But you
I know.
see
Keep
the,
going.
the Minnesota water thing, right?
Right, 100%.
So people came in through these PC controllers, right? That were connected to the internet via remote access. And guess what the government's saying? If you need remote access, then have a VPN. Okay, great. You've still got a VPN with
That
an
doesn't.
incoming firewall port exception. So that's
There's a
better,
tunnel.
but it doesn't
Yeah.
solve the problem. Make it invisible to the internet. How about that, right? So solve the problem. Don't put a band-aid on it. So, and Greg, I know, and Art, I know you wanted to go to this FCC news, so I won't
Oh
I
no,
won't
no, no.
steal
You're
our
good. Keep
thunder.
going.
But then the FCC just recently announced a ban on Chinese inverters, the part for
Yep.
humanoid robots, right? And guess what? It was all about security, and they can come tunnel in through the inverters and then turn off stuff, turn on stuff, and there's data going through it or can be extracted from it. So water, robots, inverters, printers, scanners, right? And data breaches are going up 11%, just like Art said, right? They've been happening. It's just now they're getting reported. Well, there's mandatory reporting too, right?
Oh, that's
Yep.
right. Yeah, you have to.
Telling
That's
yourself.
right.
And by law. Now,
Yep.
okay,
Law.
here I go again. Okay, so OpenAI and Anthropic. Guess what's been in the news the past week?
Hmm.
They're getting out of the sandboxes. They're going
Hmm.
out to the internet. They're trying to get something on Hugging Face. So they go get stolen credentials and then they automatically log in. In like just a few minutes, right? That's what OpenAI did, right? And it just
So,
went and
so, so, Kevin, just to be clear to everyone, when you say they went out, it was an agent.
it,
It was a
it,
it
It went out.
went
Yeah,
out.
it went out. Yeah.
It it the thingy got out of its sandbox on
yep,
purpose. Went up
yep,
to, was it Hugging Face, or
yep,
went to another application to get a tool that it thought it needed to do something.
yep.
It
Well,
found,
first of
and
all, yeah,
then did it go to the dark web to grab passwords or something? There
It
was
did.
something really
yeah.
bad. It's like,
Yeah.
wait a minute.
It
But you started out by prefacing saying that it escaped from the sandbox. No, it didn't. It
No,
was always able to get out.
it was lead, yeah.
Yeah, it didn't have to. It didn't have trouble finding the door.
it was actually told in a weird way, right? That
Right.
explore and do this, that, and the other thing.
Yeah.
And so now, yeah. Anyway, it's very
So,
fascinating.
so, so I had a conversation with somebody yesterday, and they said I was talking about cybersecurity, and they're like, it was a ERP company, and they said we're scared to death. I said, okay, why are they scared to death? They said everybody in the enterprise is downloading these Claude and OpenAI,
Oh,
and they put them on their machine for their personal AI, right? To help them with business. I mean, they had
I
good
get it. Yeah.
intentions, but these things are so good and trained. Just you tell them what to do, and they're going to do it, right? Like OpenAI, it was told go get something, and then it found out that Hugging Face had this, but they had to log in, so they found some credentials. So it just did what it was told to do, and it wasn't maliciously intention, but it's so good at doing what it did. So it went out. So this company was like, you know what? The only way we can solve this is eliminate the firewalls. Like because in firewalls there's a lot of open ports for communication. So you've got to make it invisible where you
Yep.
can't see it, right? If you could scan, like you could do port scans, you could see
Mhm.
open ports all the time on a lot of devices, and that's what happened in FortiBleed, and that's how this open AI agent, they found some kind of thing, and then they used, the stolen credentials to get there. Uh, so that's a couple of examples, not just printers, not just scanners, not just peripherals, but it's AI agents, it's water supplies, it's critical infrastructure, it's robots, it's inverters. And guess what? This is the last thing I'll say, and now be quiet. So you think it's bad now? Guess
Mhm.
what's going to happen? We talked about it earlier, quantum.
Mm.
Quantum, at the speed that quantum computers can do things in the future. Now, it's not readily available, but bad actors do have access to them. And guess what they'll be doing? They will be port scanning, harvesting, decrypting. They're doing it right now, right?
Hmm.
And that's why I think that's what my personal opinion. And that's why some of these directives are coming out is that you cannot lose the quantum cybersecurity warfare. You have to win that because everything else, civilization, depends on it. I'm sorry to be,
100% depends on it.
yeah,
I agree. But is there a way that, as much as the quantum bad guys can do what they do, like the quantum good guys, can't we
Have you noticed
defend
that everything in
ourselves with
civilization,
quantum?
everything that's been developed, somebody developed something, a countermeasure to it.
Right.
The
That's
problem
what I'm
with
saying.
quantum though is that escalation is exponential. So
Yeah.
eventually you come to where it's going to be an annihilation. It's not going to be wit.
yeah. It's like an antivirus software, right? You have antivirus, but you don't have, but there's a new one comes out, and then it's going to infect your computer until you have a new virus definition, right? You're always trying to catch up, right? And I'm sorry to say, but
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean,
that's yeah.
if the
But
so you're saying quantum v quantum
it
will
will
end
happen.
up in
It,
oblivion, because I understand it escalates each time.
Yeah,
My
like the
quantum
Pentium Wars.
beats
Remember when
yours,
they
boom, boom,
yeah,
boom.
yeah.
until eventually there's no more intellect involved in it.
Oh,
So like
There's an attack.
it
Like
yeah.
goes physical. It goes
annihilate it.
kinetic.
Yeah,
It goes
annihilate it.
kinetic.
Yeah, so like right now, Greg, you've heard of intrusion detection, right? So you'll use quantum computers to detect or to scan your network a lot faster. So there will be this escalating thing, bad and then good, and then so it'll be a never-ending battle, right?
So we have to really, really, honest to goodness, air gap
Airtight.
everything.
Yeah, I would. Yep. Yep.
No
Battlestar
gap.
Galactica,
Yeah.
no gap.
Yeah, no gap. So so 3 years ago we worked with Brother on a project, and you can actually make the brothers disappear on the network. They don't even
Oh,
show up. You can't ping
oh.
them or anything. The IT people can talk to them, but if you go out and hack that network, it will not show any of them being on the network. Is that just kind of crazy?
Well, no, I mean, yeah, but no. But now, is there a quantum bad guy who can make them visible?
Probably. Well,
I
if
don't
they
know. Oh, okay,
if
I
they
don't
have a
know.
reason to want to, they will. I don't even know
Well,
with all this quantum, they've done everything they wanted to with it.
oh, really? Okay. Well, that's cheerful.
Yeah.
No.
Back to you, Art.
So one more thing to keep you awake at night. You guys don't know this one yet, but I'll let you in on a little secret. The chips that are in the toners on the
Yeah,
copiers,
Yeah.
yeah.
they're recording.
Ooh,
They're recording.
how much can they record?
I can't tell you much about it, but I can tell you that you need to learn about it.
So they don't record that much.
Um, you might want to learn about it. But
I'm trying to.
they're
So,
quite capable of doing way more than. So all these companies that wanted the toner recycling brought back.
yeah.
And they give you the little ship sheet to send the empty toners back to the.
Even the box and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They were wanting the chips.
Well, yeah.
They're recording.
Oh, they were going to pull the data off the chips of the toner
Data
cartridges.
mining. Data mining.
Wow, I wonder what you can get with that though. I don't know how many black copies went, or I don't know how
Hasn't
long the toner lasted. This is crazy.
hasn't that been one of the reasons why Nine Star
Yeah,
was
Nightstar got caught with it because
yeah.
they was talking. It was literally talking live while it was running on the while they were in the machine.
Okay,
They
that's
weren't just storing; they were
wow.
talking. They were
So
talking.
was it back and forth or just one
Yeah.
way?
No,
I see.
they were sending stuff back to the chips were sending stuff back to Nightstar.
Wow.
But the other ones are able to record.
Okay, so those who don't know, the Nine Star was they've manufactured toner cartridges that were cheaper than the OEM toner cartridges. So a bunch of dealers would sell them under their MPS contracts because they make more margin. They were chipped. There was a chip in it that would fool the HP into thinking that it was an HP toner. That was the whole reason for the chip, which is a whole nother debate. And now you're saying that the chips that the Chinese, because it was Chinese, put in the toner cartridges was sending telemetry back to we don't
There was a whole lot of fooling around going on there, Greg.
a lot of hanky panky
Yeah,
shenanigans.
yeah. And just when you thought you wanted a printer just to copy and print.
I say we don't use printers anymore.
No.
Spying in the 21st century.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Art, you got any good news?
Yeah, that's kind of deflating all that news, right?
We're gonna have to go to the
So,
audience.
so actually, I heard a scuttlebutt this week that with all the driver changes happening with
Yeah.
Microsoft, that at some point in time, Microsoft may try and make this a profit center for them.
No.
Why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Why do you think Apple went to the wireless earbuds?
Oh yeah. Or the
So it was a revenue, total revenue. But I have a question for you, Kevin. You can answer this one for me. I downloaded just a ton of drivers, Sharp, Rico, whatever, just common current event drivers on my 11 box, and then I turned on the Microsoft, and it said there was no drivers available that were compliant. I
Yeah.
I had like everybody on it. I was like just bored. I started downloading a bunch of drivers, and then I turned it on, and it came up and said there was no devices available.
John,
That were
this-
compliant.
is that something for you?
What's that?
John?
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, the drivers are not compatible with Windows Protected Print. No driver that you can
No
download
driver.
now is compatible. There's no compatibility. Microsoft has taken over the function of sending print data to printers. The only thing we can do as a manufacturer is create these Windows, these print helper files. They're actually applications that give the Windows IPP printer, which is the default Windows protected print driver on Microsoft, to give the IPP driver some functionality improvements, stapling tray calls, booklet making, folding, all the other fancy stuff beyond just the basic print. So if you turn on Windows Protected Print on a server or a computer, all your drivers disappear. They are gone forever. If you turn it off, you have to load drivers all over again. There's no compatibility between drivers and Microsoft Protected Print at all.
That's what I found out. I wish you had told me that before I did all that because I kind of needed those.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
John,
yeah.
what happens to all the advanced functionalities? Are manufacturers like just trying to get everything figured out, or will we still have access to all those advanced functionality, even with some older machines in the field that may have been doing stapling and chapter
Well, yeah, that's the problem.
insertion?
I think so. So as of 11 months from now, I believe is the on July 1st, 2027, except for security related fixes, all Windows drivers will cease to function. Now, I don't honestly believe that's ever going to come to pass in 1 year. I think it might be a couple years. Microsoft is, if nothing else, bends to the whim of enough people screaming at them. So that might get delayed, but eventually we'll have to have some helper application to give functionality, device specific functionality to those Windows IPP drivers. And that's what Rico calls it, print support application. And I think you could probably look that up, print support application for other manufacturers. Because I've heard other people say that their Kyocera has, you know, approved, they call them drivers, but I think they're just helper applications.
Right?
So a lot of manufacturers are going to have that. I don't have any Windows that has WPP turned on, so I've never tested it. I would like to try at some point, but I don't want to screw anything up.
Will this eliminate print servers altogether?
No, no.
Okay.
You mean on a network? No, that won't have anything to do with
This
that.
isn't,
But
yeah,
the server will have it turned on.
yes, exactly. This isn't Windows Universal Print. Windows Universal Print is a service offered by Microsoft for a price.
Correct.
And what is
Yeah.
that price? Nobody knows until you actually print, and then you figure out how many pages you've gone over your allotment, and then they send you a bill. It's very weird. It's very nebulous about how much Windows Universal Print actually costs. But anyway, IPP, Windows IPP is just going to be the only, it's called a class driver. Legacy print drivers will be replaced by the Internet Printing Protocol class driver for printing IPP. So it's coming.
Yes.
So-
I guess along Art's question is like, but does it get rid of those
So,
other
so,
capabilities?
so Greg, the driver itself has been very feature rich to Art's point.
Right.
And IPP took it to core functionality, so it
Yes.
lost functionality.
Yes.
So then the PSA by each manufacturer restores
Restores it.
that
Okay.
advanced capability.
Yeah.
So-
I don't know if
they've
it
got to
restores all of
develop
it.
a piece.
Yeah, right.
I haven't
Right.
seen it yet.
Right. That's the intention, though.
Yes.
So,
Mm,
so,
I understand.
so at the end of the day, it didn't add any functionality, didn't add any usefulness, but it improved security because there's no
Yes.
driver installed now, and it's
Correct.
using all Microsoft stuff to IPP.
Yep.
So my stance was while you got this industry, not you guys, while the industry is making these changes, because you're going to have to make the change, like Kevin said, right? Yeah, he turns on IPP and then he can't use his driver. So there's going to be some reconfiguration, as simple as it might be for technical people. But at that same time, why don't you make the functionality better by adding additional data, metrics, something? And that's why I said this year at the show that we were at. I said instead of just fixing a problem with IPP, make it better. But I don't
What
know.
have you learned since then?
That
It's
old
not
habits-
better.
Old habits die hard. We'll get
So
there. though.
could there be a play that some of the manufacturers don't develop those helper files for the older machines
Yeah.
because
But
there's
then
a
you gotta
there's
get
a
a new
cost?
machine.
Will be. You will.
What incentive is there for a manufacturer to go back for a 15-year-old printer and
Not
fix
talking-
something?
I understand 15, but how about 8 years? How about 7 years?
How about it's in the eye of the beholder, though? But Microsoft isn't going to care about give two rips about any of that. Or
Yep.
Nope.
No.
they're not going to care at all about it. I
And
mean,
yet-
they're dragging their feet about the ones that are current models
Yeah.
because you're still talking about overhead for them.
Yeah.
You know,
well, it's going
I
to
mean,
be
It's not,
see,
overhead.
it's not their problem. They don't sell
and-
printers.
and see, you have to remember something, Art. There's an alternative to all of this. That's very simple. There's a very simple workaround, and Microsoft is going to keep pointing to it, and that is you can take and put all of your print devices, your scan devices, your other devices on a separate network. Okay, and then address that network with only certain gateways on the main network. So the print server could be the only liaison between one IP scheme versus the main IP scheme. Do you follow me?
Yeah.
So with that being done, then that isolates all of the printers from the main network. The issue, the intrusion that we're all talking about is you can put it on its own domain and then just have only thing that can access it is like, say, like you were asking, Art, like the print server or something.
Yeah.
And that way, so this isn't like a all or nothing deal. There's other ways that can be
Mhm.
right. But the problem is this has been available to network people for years,
Yep.
and they haven't done it.
Never.
They've never done it.
It's
So
all been on the same thing. You could have done that back in
Hey,
19, whenever the hell it was. Yeah.
yeah,
the only thing I want out of this is to get those 5-year-old plus machines out of the damn field.
It's gonna
Might
happen.
have your
It's
your
gonna
Oh,
wish
happen.
might
yeah,
happen. Yeah.
it'll happen for even other reasons as well. But yeah, you're going to get them out of the field. But don't you agree, Kevin? There's ways they could do this.
Oh, sure.
And,
Yeah.
and the one thing that this Microsoft thing will do is it will squeeze these administrators
Mhm.
to have to do something to move it. But like, we talk to people that have a really, really large networks. Imagine moving 18,000, 20,000 devices over. They're just not going to do that. That is literally not just a ticket on a help desk. That's a complete initiative. You know what I
Right.
mean? So you're
It'll take
saying,
time.
no,
Yeah.
yeah, we should have done that a long time ago, but train left the
Well,
station on that one.
So, John, I got a
So-
question for you. Does this affect Rico Cloud Stream at all?
Well, I guess it depends on what you consider a driver to be. There is an application, most cloud print functions, most cloud print solutions, and there's a lot of them, require an application on your PC to make it work. Right? Because ultimately you have to get data from here where you create it to over there where you print it, right? So something has to control that flow of data. So the application in CloudPrint's case and a lot of other cases takes the place of a traditional driver. So is it affected by this IPP stuff? Not as much because it doesn't act as a traditional spool print function on your PCs. So it's not a driver in the traditional sense, but it's still an application on your computer that you have to install.
Right.
So it's yeah, I don't know if that answers your question.
Well, and this changed the direction a little bit because you kind of swerved in. I was thinking churches and nonprofits that have 8-year-old machines or whatever, or used machines. But what about the SLED accounts, local governments, all those guys, and they have massive networks.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to switch over to, do whatever, Kevin just explained. So how does that impact that area? Because the reason I'm saying this is like, okay, you're making it more difficult for me to print. So I'm as a business owner, I'm thinking, well, do I really need to print, right? But in the government, it's not a question. You have to be able to print. So do government accounts just print like streams without any extra functionality? Is that how you get away with it? And then
No,
hospitals.
I can
How about
answer what they do.
hospitals? Yeah.
So the way that like the nukes and all of those people do it is they have only certain computers that can actually print. So they
Down to the
create
PC, down to the PC, not the printer, but the PC.
they have an alias PC that is the only thing that's bidirectional to the printer.
Okay.
So you can be working on your workstation all day long, and when you hit file print, you're just sending it to another PC, to an alias PC on their network. And then that computer is the only one that can talk so it can't come back. So they create aliases on their network. That way a group can just go, because think about this. If you have 50 people doing regulatory information and you're modulating 50 behaviors. Okay. Whereas if they channel it down to one alias device,
Right.
they can
You're
take all those behaviors and move them into one stringent or structured behavior.
So that's all fine and dandy. So Kevin Painter, I was thinking about you because you have government accounts and you work in that area. Are you hearing anything about this at all?
No, I got a VA that they're pretty wide open. It's like their IT people are very slack, to be honest.
Well, I was gonna try and mention without government is usually the lowest rung on the evolutionary. Oh, that doesn't sound good at all. But you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Government. Anyway,
No,
so go on.
you stepped right in it, Greg. Please tell us.
I didn't.
Yeah. Throw some more dirt on yourself, Greg.
I know, man. It's been a hell of a day. I might as well keep going. You're right. Yeah, just keep going. Well, I mean, we all know it, right? The government workers aren't usually, that's the last stop. So doesn't matter. how does it impact like Kevin Painter's business and our business in terms of
So,
selling and making revenue when this
so,
whole cluster comes down?
so Greg, it's not surprising that Kevin Painter hasn't quite seen that yet because,
That
like John said, it's going to take time. Even if Microsoft said today, no more, and that's what they're saying.
yeah,
They're not saying you're cut off. It's just saying that we won't support any future drivers. So it's going to be a year or two before people start realizing, hey, the manufacturer's not developing any more drivers, right? And then what do I do, right? My Windows update needs a new driver because the .NET framework thing broke it, right? So there'll be a period of time until it happens. And when it happens, it's going to be eye-opening where, oh, my printer doesn't work. Now I got to fix it. Oh, well, there's no driver available. Okay, I got to switch to IPP. Oh, I switched to IPP. The functionality's degraded. Now I got to go get
that's what I
a
want to talk
PSA.
about. That functionality. Actually, I want to Kevin Painter. Think about your fleet that's in the field and the capabilities that each machine might have. What percentage of those capabilities is actually being used? Like three staples, folders, obviously duplexing, things like
Not
that.
many actually. Yeah, not many people are buying the finishers anymore.
No.
All right.
I
All
agree.
right.
Well, maybe we talk about the other embedded features that are in the print drivers, even if you don't have options such as stapling, what else? The
Well,
hole punch, which is an option you have to buy, or folding, which is an option you have to buy. There's a lot of functionality in the printers for actually, as John DeCarlo knows, saving. You can actually do a macro, and if I got that terminology right,
Mhm.
you can save the machine to insert chapters from certain
oh
paper
my God.
trays. You can
Insert.
tell it to duplex this. You can tell it to add a front cover, a back cover. But not only do you have those features, but you've got delayed and secure print features as well.
Bait
And
stamping,
most of
all that
my
stuff.
clients don't use any of those features. It's a great thing. It's a great story to tell them that we've got that available. But when push comes to shove, I'd say 90% aren't using it. John?
Well,
I would agree. Absolutely. Accepting production print, which
Yeah.
does use
yeah,
a lot of
put
that
that up. Yeah.
functionality. The folks, 90% of their jobs are one-sided, black and white or color, maybe a staple, maybe. And that's it. They don't
So
care about
maybe
tray
Mike,
calls,
maybe
chapter insertion, watermarking.
How about adjusting color? You can adjust color. You can.
nobody does that.
Nobody does
I
that.
know.
No.
Yeah,
No.
you can do that. So Kevin, is that Kevin Painter? Sorry guys. Is that something you kind of see? I mean, very few people in the field are actually using 100 what would you say, 80% of the capabilities of the machine?
Yeah, if anything, they might staple the corner, but I
Mhm.
got one church that does saddle stitch, and that's the only place that I have that does it.
Yep. How many staples do you have in your warehouse right now?
None.
Right. And that's how I am as a dealer. Am I right? Is that right? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
That makes sense.
That's the quickest way to answer the question. I don't have any in stock either. Thousands of machines. I don't have any staples. Hope they don't
I
need
mean, I
them.
hate to say it, but maybe Microsoft is right. Right? I mean, maybe
Well,
could it be that
everywhere you go now, people are application specific.
yeah,
Okay. The quickest way to do a training for a customer is to feel them out and find out what they do and don't do
Absolutely.
and how they do it. And
Yep.
your training is over in 10 minutes. You've
Yep.
specifically, and they'll give you the
you
best
hit
glowing report in the world because you used to hit every one of my nerves and I'm as happy as can be. Right.
yep.
Yep.
Yep. Although you paid for everybody else's nerves, you only need 3 of the 4,000 capabilities, but we're going to charge you for all 1,000. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
happens.
I mean, I can't. Can anybody on this panel right now think of a single another feature that needs to be added to a new model? Right.
Automatic shut off.
I
There
haven't
it,
seen I haven't seen a new feature in a decade.
right.
Maybe 15 years.
They're all distractions, aren't they? Everything that's been added is a distraction to take you away from the fact that the new one ain't going to run any better than the old one.
Yep.
Yep.
You know, they're all consumption. That's how they work. Okay. And that's why you always sign a purchase agreement and a maintenance agreement at the same time, because the machine can't possibly run on its own.
I got a feature for you.
Uh-oh.
Variable speed.
What?
Variable speed. Like the old duplicators, where you could crank them from 60 to 120 pages a minute. That's a feature I would like to see.
Okay, so does anybody else get a kick out of it, like the new up and coming reps that are like on LinkedIn and stuff, and they say you need to be asking the important questions, like how fast it needs to, the old feeds and speed thing, right? Like, remember that, Art? Okay, so there's no mention at all about the fact that there's no more print and distribute in the industry anymore. It's all distribute and print. It all comes via email. It comes bring your own device.
Yep.
Okay, and they're only printing out onesie twosies. In the very honesty of our industry today is you're going to find very, very few people because that speed addressed something called time sensitive turnaround, right? That's what it was for, because people did more than 100. So how can anybody possibly think that if you only do 10 pages on an average of a set, how is 60 pages a minute going to benefit you? It's not.
Sounds better.
Well,
it does sound better, yeah, but it's not going to benefit you,
Of
right?
course.
The engine speed is faster than
Makes
that.
people feel more important if they have a faster machine. It is a badge of honor, and that's it.
Well,
I know, but there's even people in our industry that are linking on LinkedIn, like saying, get a hold of us. We're going to give you a comprehensive assessment. And boy, we're going to tell you exactly what speed you need. Dude, speed's been gone for years. Okay. It literally has been gone for years. But can anybody else still see Art over there turning that dial, zipping that bad boy up to 120?
On a demo? Absolutely.
It's over there smoking like a burnt clutch.
That's right.
Art's got that baby rocking.
And then I'm going to tell all the benefits from slowing the machine down and increasing the speed.
Yep. This is drive it like you stole it, right, Art?
Mm-hmm. So we're going to dedicate our next 5 minutes to what happened in robotics, which is a pretty big thing. What happened with the federal government and a ban. So maybe Greg's got a lot of knowledge on that. So maybe if you can give us 5 or 10 minutes on that, Greg.
I can give you 5 hours, but
well, we don't want 5 hours. I got a dinner date.
I would love to talk with Michael Kevin Neal about it, but we've all got great. All right. So basically the FCC said that the inverters, the thingamajiggers inside these machines that convert AC to DC or DC to AC, whatever it is, the power thingies in there, some of them report back. They're bi-directional. They can actually connect to the internet. And
the power supplies.
Yeah. Well, the inverters. Right. So yeah, they can communicate back and forth. Now, I guess that we have inverters all over the grid, our existing grid, and the inverters are in a lot of the different AMRs and more like the androids, the bipedals, and the quadrupedals. And I guess the inverters are these special inverters that are connected, believe it or not, are more specific to limbed robots. Okay, not wheel
robots.
Yeah. So if you have an arm or a leg or two, that's the first pass. The second thing that came out this week, and Kevin can help me out here, is that pool vacuum robots, those little vacuum robots that are out, they all have
Roombas.
The same thing.
Yep.
Roombas. Yeah.
Yep.
So now you start dropping names and people are going to get freaked out, which is legitimate. Except for the FCC thing says, no, you can't put those in your machines, and any robots that have those in can't get into the U.S. unless it's already been approved by the FCC, which, everything that we've been talking about for the last year and a half have already been approved for the FCC, or we're gonna find out. Regardless, there's a legitimate fear out there that now all these robots have one more negative aspect to it, the androids, but I don't know if it is overblown, but it's real all the same. All right. Because we don't want someone else like China to have access to these inverters. That at the very least, they can just shut them down. And if they're attached to the grid, whatever, they can crash the grid. But again, even if their toner chips are talking back and forth, if these inverter thingamajiggers are talking back and forth, back to China, Right. They may have the map to your house. They may have the warehouse, all that information going up into the cloud to China or somewhere else, not to tell them that or to single them out. Regardless, in our world that we're working with in the continuum, it really doesn't impact us yet. All right. Because what the scuttlebutt online is, okay, this is the first shot. And yeah, it could be because we don't like China. And yeah, it could be because they did this, that, there's a political quotient here. But like Kevin said, there's a real live reason why we don't want that as well. I would question the timing because it's always been that way, right? And but for us in the continuum, it's continue on the same path. We're not none of our robots are impacted by that. But the FCC, it's the first time. So what's going to come down 6 months from now? What's going to come down this time next year? So that's what we have to be worried about. Kevin, I know you have a lot to add. It's
Oh.
right up your alley, right?
No, I think you summarized it perfectly. It's just like, and you're right. The robots that have been shipped that already have FCC approval, they continue to be shipped, right? But
Right.
but the big growth is going to be in the future, right? The new robots that are being developed that are going to go that need to go through FCC approval, and they're not going to be approved as it stands right now. So that's
Right.
that's the bigger
Oh,
concern.
and so
So
they're foreign sourced inverters.
Hmm.
So in theory, there could be some U.S. quote assembled or manufactured humanoids that buy their inverters from foreign agents or whatever. So that's the part. I think in the overall thing, I think it's a good move for the U.S. because our U.S. robotics and our AMR progress has not been the same as the offshore stuff, right? I mean, you can just look at one of the vendors we use. They have 9 different models, and they're in the street right now selling. And there's not too many U.S. on par manufacturers with those, and there's just scrubbers. So I think it's a good thing. I don't really like false tariffs and manipulating the capitalist marketing, but except for China because they don't believe in capitalism. So anything that we do against them, I'm fine with but that's a personal thing.
I,
So anyway, long term, I think it's good that we can get our eyes on it. I think it's good for the U.S. market because now, and we talked to someone earlier this week was very excited that this happened, and he's
mhm.
Canadian, well, still North American, right? Western. Um, so brings up the hype, and hopefully we can get our domestic AMR manufacturers up to par. I'd love to see that. So, and it's also a lot of marketing and stuff, and make people scared of robots, feared of robots in general, and I don't like that, but we'll persevere through it.
Yeah. A couple of those Chinese manufacturers were going towards IPOs in the next 30, 60 days. I believe Unitree, Agabot,
Yeah.
3 of the big players.
Yeah.
So their IPOs are going to be in question. And then
Yeah,
you've also got Xi meeting with the White House in September. So
it's a multiplexer of it's a multiplex of different
yeah,
influences and gravitational forces all over the place. Which
yeah, China has already been talking about rare earth minerals and the deal they have.
well, it could be the 400 man pads that China sold to Iran, if they did or if they didn't. Who knows?
Mhm.
But that was brought up the other day. There's also it's very complex, and I'll tell you what, I would much rather have 5 OEMs from the U.S. right than 12 from offshore. That'd be fine with me because then we know this is not just consumer stuff anymore. This is not just capitalism stuff. This is technology. I know you guys know this. That yeah, we have an autonomous scrubber. You can have an autonomous dog robot out there with an M16 on it. It's the jump is not that far,
Yeah,
right?
these are critical infrastructure. I mean, that's the thing, right? They move, they talk, they record, they send data, right?
Right.
So
I mean,
even if
we got people do it yourself killing mosquitoes autonomously with laser beams in their
Mhm,
backyard. It's like they
yeah.
built it themselves, right? So, anyway, I really want to sell a lot of robots. I think it's a good idea, but gosh darn, we are on the frontier of everything right now.
It's not going to stop me from selling robots. I'll tell you
Nope.
that much.
Nope. I want the best robot in the world.
Art wants the button to turn that robot up to 120.
Goes to 11.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I gotta
yeah.
go I'm the fastest robot alive.
So you're telling me I did read a little bit about this, but I'm getting more now. So you're telling me like the inverter is what's being banned? Literally an electronic device is being banned. So like
Correct.
all of the welders in the world that have inverters in them are going to be wrong. So all the,
Chinese, if
I
they're
mean,
manufactured in China, any new inverters are going to be banned.
That's a good point, Kevin, because what it clearly says is if it's in the field today and if it's been approved by the FCC already,
Yep.
those are not on the ban.
Yep.
They're fine. But
yeah, I'm
the
gonna have
new
to
stuff.
I'm gonna have to read about that because that's just it.
I'm seeing the inverters in association with solar energy,
Oh
like
yeah, that's
I
true.
read
because
that
they're
as
all
well.
online anyway. And robotic things that are also online. I don't think a welder can be online. So I think
It
the
is
welders would say,
online.
No, they are
It's
online.
online.
Yeah, mine's online.
"What, your welder? Your
Oh, are you kidding me? Right? They're lasers. You can shoot it clear across the
Yeah,
room
they're
and cut a hole right through the wall. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. It has firmware in it. Yeah. It literally talks on it. Literally, if it has a code on it, it sends it back up to a cloud.
hmm, hmm, interesting."
yeah.
Yeah. This isn't your dad's old arc welder. This is the new common. This is the new. You have to take 3 hours of online class to get your own serial number to be able to type it into the device to turn it on.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't have those kinds of welders.
Oh.
They Harbor Freight don't have those kind of welders.
Well, I'm in Nebraska. I didn't think we had them either. I mean, nothing's ever comes to Nebraska. It must have fallen here must have been them space cowboys.
I could see the issues that could arise if they are in charge of the power supplies in anything sold in the United States because they sell everything in the United States that we buy. Then they could just shut it off. That's a scary thought.
It is.
I could see that.
I think
So
they could even make it blow up, right? I mean, over
That's
whatever. I don't know.
that's happened. I mean, with
Oh,
over in the Middle East, there was the pagers. Remember, they blew up. It was like
Yeah.
a couple
oh, that's
years ago.
right.
Israel did
Israel.
yeah,
that.
because they
Israel
put
did that.
bombs in them and activated them in the place of one of the batteries. I don't think that was.
Okay, so you ready for this? They can actually turn the welders off.
Mhm.
The manufacturer can't, so you can't use it.
That's what I
from-
wanted to do with copiers all these years when they never paid their bill.
Right.
There you
Turn
go.
the son of a bitch off.
You just be like Xerox. You just go out, put a block underneath it, and take your hatchet and lop that cord off.
Well, they're doing
Okay.
it in cars right now. There's kill switches in the automobiles now.
It-
And that's a law.
Everything's an IoT. Anything with an IP address, IoT, anything connected has potential.
I'm not even gonna be able to make coffee, Kevin. This is getting ridiculous.
Yeah, that's why unplug, man.
My refrigerator gives me all the recipes if you just ask it.
Many of them
I
include
still
rat
have to go to
poisoning.
my wife for those.
Yeah, tell your wife you have to go
Wow.
shopping at the thrift store because you got to be zero trust architecture.
Yeah, she'll look at me with like I got four eyes with zero. What the hell is zero trust?
Yeah, she just didn't realize that she was marrying a high level guy like you are. She didn't know
I
that.
love.
Yeah, well,
Right.
that goes back a long time when I wasn't as high level.
There you go.
I
I kinda
was
need it-
kind of more like low level.
Well, I need to go buy a new coffee cruncher. I hope that's not included.
Anybody have any interesting news for this weekend? Anybody doing anything?
Beautiful. 88, sunny in Michigan.
82 here.
Excellent.
You know what I'm going to do, Art? I'm going to take some vintage stereo equipment.
Hmm.
I'm going to start recapping it. I'm going to be deep into the 301, ripping out some transistors and some capacitors and
Nice.
all that kind of stuff. And then
Huh.
when I'm all done, I'm going to sit back and listen because I'm an audiophile guy. I like that.
I've
Nice.
seen that. Yeah, that I see a lot of that going on. Guys grabbing old receivers and turntables and
Oh, yeah.
all work.
That industry is booming.
I love
Yeah.
it. I've been doing it
Classic
for a long
hardware.
time.
That's great.
Yep.
Bring
Yep.
back
Going back to
analog.
going back to the guys and gals that used to use slide rulers and brains to build things.
They still make capacitors and Resistors?
What? Are you kidding me, Art? Come on.
Yeah, there's
It-
no more
it-
Radio
it's a-
Shack.
It's a thing.
How about Zener diodes? Those still available?
Oh my God. Oh my. Art, just all you have to know when it comes to this is 220 or 221, whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Okay. Whatever it
220,
takes.
221.
Just 220, 220, whatever it takes.
Oh my.
Mom, Mr. Mom.
Yep. And then what we do on some of them, Art, is we raise the capacitance on some of those so they have a higher ceiling. I mean, there's just all kinds of little witchetry things that you can do to, you know,
Interesting.
you get into an old Macintosh and you sit there and stare at it for an hour and you're like, wow, this design is like amazing how well it's thought out. There's no RF interference. There's no crosstalk. There's just all kind. You just words like that come out of your mouth, and you're just like in shock that you learned so much from it, and then you're just wiser as a result of it.
Oh, I just learned so much right now about it.
Yep.
Hey,
The smell of solder burning over there in the corner while you got your irons running.
Yeah, solder burning that is a unique smell. Hey, DeCarlo, I was in your area last week.
You were for
I
what?
was in down by Johnstown.
Johnstown.
Isn't
Well,
that
flood memorial?
isn't that by you?
It's closer than Harrisburg to
Oh,
me.
okay.
Yeah, it's about it was about an hour from Johnstown. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I had to drive through 3 tunnels to get back to Jersey and Pennsylvania.
Oh, sure. There are lots of
Those-
tunnels on the turnpike. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, what the hell
That
are
was
these
probably
things?
a $40-$50 toll ticket there.
Yeah, I haven't looked at it. My Easy Pass. Yeah, all I know is when I got back, I got a message: replenish Easy
Yeah.
Pass.
Yeah, it's pricey. Turnpike's pricey. Very nice. Very
All
nice.
right, everyone. It's 10 after 5 on the East Coast. You've seen another version of Ask Us Anything. We thank you very much for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Please like, follow, and share. Thanks to Greg. Thanks to Michael Kevin, Kevin Taylor, Kevin Fry, and Mr. John DeCarlo. We appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye bye.
Take it easy.